I'm super excited and equally as terrified for Dark-type. The idea I have for the scene is super cool, but the Pokemon I chose are very complicated. Blood, sweat, and tears were poured into this piece, so I hope you all like how it turns out. Let's move on to the sketch. The theme for this actually came to mind purely because of the Pokemon themselves. When I was looking through the Dark types, my eyes immediately latched onto Alolan, Raticate, and Honchkrow. They look like a gangster boss and his right-hand man. I love the idea so much that I decided to choose the other Pokemon to fit that theme. I added a desk to make it seem like you're going in to be interrogated by the boss, and he's sitting there waiting for you. Krookodile is standing on the other side of him, like another huge bodyguard. He's perfect because of the sunglasses too. At the front, I decided to go with smaller Pokemon because I didn't want to make myself sculpt too many fully evolved ones. I added a Zorua under the desk, and a Scraggy in the front trying to act all tough. He's like a younger lackey that's trying his best. And a Houndour acting like a guard dog. I kept the color palette dark as well, with dark wood and a black floor. Last minute I gave Raticate a cigar because I thought it'd be funny. But yeah, here it is. Wish me luck!
Sculpting!
I'm making Raticate first. I clay up his ball of foil. He's shaped like a cute little potato. I add on a piece of clay for his cheeks and smooth that all in. Then I smooth in fur tufts along the bottom. This piece is for his nose. His ears are next, which are kind of fuzzy too, so I'm adding that. Popping them on. Now to add hair tufts on top of his head. He's got two big whiskers on the sides of his face, so I add those. For his body, I start by blending in clay lumps for his legs. Then making his hands. His feet get glued onto the clay lumps I made. Last is the tail. It's super long. I curl it up and sculpt in the little segments. This is the big cigar. I stick that on. And done.
Next.
Claying up Honchkrow. He's also very chunky. This big piece is for his hat. I'm sure it's not an actual hat, but feathers on top of his head that are shaped like a hat, which is super cool. It's a big hat too. Now I work on his poofy chest. It's kind of like a big swoopy heart shape. I smooth in little feather tufts for the sides too. Rolling out his beak. Then I sculpt his wings. At the end of each wing there are feathers that stick out. I cut into the wing to sculpt those feathers. And then glue on the wings. I smooth in two lumps for his legs, or maybe it's considered a thigh. Next I sculpt his bird feet. The tail is a big puff of spiky feathers, so I try my best to make that. It's a very weird, dangerous looking tail. But he's done.
Next.
Time for Krookodile. I clay and smooth everything out. Then I work on adding volume and shaping the head with more clay. These pieces are for his big glasses. I glue those on and smooth them in. His nostrils are also very prominent, so I pop on little spikes and poke in the nostril holes. Here's his big tail. I sculpt that and pop it on, curling it behind his back. I make his stubby legs, and for each one, I glue on 3 little claws. Now I smooth them onto the body. The arms are next. I make one full arm and fold the other arm into that one. These little triangles are for the spikes on his back. Finished!
Next.
Claying up Houndour, who looks like a bean. I make her snout with a lump of clay, and smooth clay on top of her head, because I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. I smooth in her pointy tail, and her ears. Time for the skull head plate thingy. I use the back of my brush to press in 2 indents, then I glue that head plate on. Now the legs. I roll them all out and blend them in. Last thing I roll out are the rib cage-like bones to add to the back. Ta-da!
Next.
This is Zorua. I struggled a little bit with this one because she's so detailed, but so small, so I tried my best not to squish the pieces I shaped. I wrap a chunk of clay around her head so I can shape the fluffy fur. I kinda made it look like she's a flower. The next thing I do is pop on her tiny paws. I make triangle shapes for the ears, and make a poop-shaped dollop for the hair on top of her head. I pop on the muzzle and then smooth it in. I work on her tail and glue that on, even though it most likely won't be seen, since Zorua's body is hidden inside the bottom of the desk. Lastly, the cheek tufts. Done.
Next.
Last one is Scraggy. I clay up the foil and then add on a piece of clay to make his pants. I sculpt in creases because his pants are super baggy. Popping on his feet. Then I make his arms. They're pulling up his baggy pants, which I always found super funny and cute. I roll out and pop on his chunk of hair. I roll out his tail and shape it into a thick zigzag. And complete.
Next.
For the props, I start with the desk. I roll out a big flat piece of clay and cut out the desk shapes. Again, I don't really measure out anything and just eyeball the shapes. Once I got all the pieces I need, I bake them in the oven so they can harden before I glue them all together. I make a goopy paste out of clay and liquid Sculpey and use that as glue to stick everything together. It's very satisfying, like making a gingerbread house with icing. Here's the desk. This is the one prop on top of the desk, the lamp. I make a marshmallow shape for the top part and glue the two pieces together.
Next.
The chair is also a similar process. I cut out the pieces, bake them, and glue them together with goop. The difference is I round out some edges, curl down the armrests, and make the chair legs. The chair legs are actually scrap parts from the desk I made earlier. Here's the chair. And here's Raticate sitting in his chair. It's a perfect fit. Here are all the pieces, ready to go into the oven and get prepped for painting.
Paint time!
I start painting most of Raticate black. Not a complete black because I lighten it up just a bit. After that's done, I go in with a cream to paint his face. His hands, and his feet. His tail is that cream color too. I start painting his eyes with white. But then I realized I forgot to add brown onto his belly, so I quickly do that. I get back to finishing the rest of his face, with his red irises, and his mouth. I add some yellow highlight because of the lamp near him, but then I realized again, I forgot to add brown to his ears. I just kept going back and forth. Lastly, I paint the cigar brown. I'll glue that on at the end. But here he is.
Next.
I mixed the dark navy for most of Honchkrow's body. A dark gray is painted onto his feet. And then I start painting the white parts of his body, the big chest fluff and the base of the tail. And since I had white paint already, I just got started on the face. I used red paint for the irises and the spiky portion of his tail. I added yellow highlights to a few spots on Honchkrow. He's done.
Next.
Krookodile is painted all red. I leave a few parts out like his belly, so I can go into that with white. I also paint white for his toe claws, and hand claws. I then paint in his glasses black. And continue using black to paint on the stripes all over his body. I really hate painting on stripes. I always get too nervous trying to make it even all around. And this guy has so many stripes. Oh, and I paint his back spikes black too. Time for more stripes on his tail. Lastly, I work on his face. Hopefully, the dark black of his eyes is seen over his glasses. Finished!
Next.
I mix a lighter black for Houndour, and use that for her whole body. Orange is painted on her snout and belly. And white is for all the bone pieces, her head plate, and the bones on her back. She also has white rings that I paint around each leg. I also can't forget the black inside the eye sockets of the skull. Now I work on her face. Houndour's got black eyes. Done.
Next.
Time for Zorua. I paint her a dark purplish gray. I mix only a little bit of purple to it. I then paint her collar fluff an even darker shade of that purpley gray. Red is painted at the ends of her hair and the tips of her paws. Red also goes onto her face. I painted black into the inner ears and finished off the rest of her face. Finished!
Next.
Scraggy is the lightest color out of all of them. He's a bright yellow. A creamy yellow is painted onto his torso and arms. Then red is painted onto the thingy on top of his head. Now for the face. He's got the funniest expression, trying so hard to be tough. Done.
Next.
The table is painted brown. All around. Every inch is brown. Only one small portion of the table is lit up by the lamp, so I paint it yellow. The lamp is light yellow on top and black at the bottom. I paint the center white to make it look like it's glowing more. I also add some highlight to it. Ta-da!
Next.
The chair is painted a darker brown. That's all there is to it.
Next.
For the base, I just use a super dark gray. I paint over the entire thing with that color. Then I use a lighter shade to brush around the outside of the base, keeping the center dark. And here it is. We can put them all together now. Just seeing Raticate in his chair brings me so much joy, even if the scene is supposed to be menacing.
Success! Whoopee!
Guys, I kind of love this. Like, I know Honchkrow isn't fully side view, but it's okay. They all look so menacing and so cool. Maybe the lamp looks like it's about to tip over. Oh well, who cares? I don't care. This is one of my new favorites. It might be a little simple. They might just be posing and not doing much, but they have aura! So much of it. I don't know what else to say. I'm very happy with it. I hope you think it encapsulates dark type well. It's time to thank my beloved channel members. Thank you Doodlemoose, Ghosty Faye, Sunny Badoka, Asen, Diamond Doodling, May, AZ, Dez, and Dr. Rook. I really appreciate the support in helping me keep the channel running. Channel members get exclusive behind the scenes videos, early sneak peeks into my projects, and more. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to see more projects from me. I love this project so much. I find it amazing that I'm still not tired of sculpting Pokemon at this point. I've made so many. But each one is so unique so it never gets repetitive. We got just a few more types left, so I hope to see you for those.
Bye-bye!